The forest screamed before we even stepped inside. It was a deep, wet sound, like trees crying through broken throats. Every instinct told me to turn back, but the path behind us had already disappeared. We were 6 friends carrying hunting rifles, cameras, and false confidence. The forest was older than any map and darker than night, even under daylight. Thick fog clung to the ground, and every breath tasted of rot and damp soil. Birds did not fly here. Insects did not sing. The silence felt alive. We walked deeper as the trees closed around us. Their trunks twisted like bones, and roots clawed across the ground like fingers. I noticed strange tracks everywhere, not just animal prints, but long dragging marks, as if something massive had slithered through recently. Then we heard the hiss. It came from all directions, low and endless. When we turned our lights toward the sound, the ground moved. Black and red snakes poured from the undergrowth, dozens, then hundreds, sliding over one another. Thick bodies wrapped around tree trunks and coiled across rocks. Among them moved something far larger. An anaconda rose from the shadows. Its body was thicker than a man and longer than the clearing itself. Its scales were dark green, stained with blood. Its eyes reflected our lights with cold intelligence. Before anyone could scream, it struck. 2 of our group were dragged down instantly. The anaconda wrapped around them, crushing bones with slow, deliberate force. Black and red snakes joined, twisting around arms, necks, legs. Screams turned to wet, choking sounds as bodies disappeared beneath living coils. We fired blindly. Bullets tore through snakes, but more kept coming. Blood soaked the forest floor, and the smell drove something else awake. The animals came. From the fog emerged shapes that should not exist. Wolves with exposed ribs and empty eye sockets. Steer standing on 2 legs with antlers dripping flesh. A massive boar charged, its face split open, revealing rows of human teeth inside its mouth. These creatures moved wrong, their joints bending backward, their shadows stretching far too long. One animal lunged at me. I fell hard and felt claws rake my chest. I rolled away as its jaws snapped inches from my face, dripping black saliva. When I looked again, it had vanished into the fog. We ran in different directions. I followed, screaming until it stopped abruptly. The forest swallowed sound like water. I stumbled into a clearing and froze. Ghosts filled the space. Dozens of pale figures hovered above the ground, their bodies torn and twisted, faces stretched in endless agony. Their mouths opened and blood poured out, floating upward like smoke. When they screamed, the sound stabbed straight into my head. They rushed toward me. Cold hands passed through my body, burning like fire. Memories flooded out of me. Moments of my life ripped away. I fell to my knees, vomiting blood as the ghosts fed. From behind them stepped a woman. She wore black robes woven from leaves and hair. Bones hung from her neck. Her eyes were completely black. When she opened her mouth, blood spilled endlessly down her chin, soaking her chest. She smiled slowly. She was the witch of the forest. She said, "Hunters always come." She said, "The forest remembers every wound." She said, "The dead never leave." She raised her hand, and the ghosts surged forward again, clawed away into the trees, hearing screams everywhere. I saw one friend hanging upside down, tangled in red snakes, blood pouring from his mouth as a ghost tore into his chest. Another was wrapped entirely by the anaconda, his face crushed, flat eyes bulging, lifeless. The witch followed calmly, her footsteps silent. Every step caused roots to rise and pull bodies into the earth. The forest drank deeply. I reached a fallen tree and hid beneath it, shaking uncontrollably. Blood dripped from my lips and nose. My heart pounded so loud, I was sure it would give me away. The witch stopped nearby. She knelt and whispered, that one must always leave. One must carry the forest beyond its borders. She pressed her bloody mouth to the ground, and the snakes retreated, slowly melting into the earth. The animals vanished, the ghosts faded, but their whispers remained. Morning light broke through the canopy. I woke alone at the edge of the forest, covered in blood, not all mine. Authorities found no trace of the others. They said animals must have attacked. They said I was lucky. I know the truth. Every night I hear hissing under my floor. I see snakes in mirrors. Ghosts stand at the foot of my bed, mouths pouring blood, silently screaming. Outside my house, animals watch from the trees waiting. The witch smiles from the darkness. She says, the hunt never ends. If you enjoyed this story, then please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for listening.